श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु भिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदि कवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो दृशा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजता दधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 8, beginning from verse number 4. This is Sri Narada speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj about the history of Prahlad. And we read how Prahlad, he was preaching to his friends, his classmates, and he convinced them about devotion. And they lost faith in the teachings which their teachers were giving them, which was all about politics and related with Artha Shastra. So when the teachers saw this, they were worried that Hiranyakashipu comes to know about it, he will be very angry at them. So they themselves went and complained to him. And then Hiranyakashipu lost his temper and he said, "Bring my son." So Prahlad was presented to him and he decided to kill him. So Kshiptva Parushaya Vacha Prahladam Matadarhanam Ahai Kshimana Papena Tirashchinena Chakshusha. So he looked at him with very harsh or very tough eyes. Although Prahlad did not deserve that, but he looked at him with very angry eyes. And then looking at him with bent eyes in anger, he spoke the following words to him. Prashrayavnatam dantam baddhanjalim avasthitam sharpa padahataiva swasam prakriti dharana. So Prahlad, who was prakriti dharana, Hiranyakashipu by nature, who was very harsh very cruel. He spoke to Prahlad, and Prahlad was standing there with folded hands in a very humble manner. Prashya avnatam, bowing to him dantam, he was very controlled and peaceful. Baddhanjalim avastitam, and he had his palms joined together. Sarpa padahataiva, and Hiranyakashipu was just like there's a snake, and he kicked the snake with your foot. Then he gets very angry and raises his hood, ready to bite you, attack you. So like that, Hiranyakashipu was as if he has been hurt by Prahlad. Although Prahlad, he did not say anything. He was just standing there like a very obedient, respectful son. So then he spoke to him in the following two verses. He durvinita mandatman kulabheda karadhama stabdham machasana bhutam neshe twadya yamakshayam. He says that, oh, most haughty, proud, undisciplined, foolish, and destroyer of the family, lowest of human beings, and very insolent, Machasanodbhutam neshetvadyam kshayam. You are not listening to me, so today I will send you to Yamaloka. Said, I have booked a ticket for you. Catch your flight. Go to Yamaraj. Kruddhasya yasya kampante trayo loka saheshwaraha tasya me bhitavan mudha shasnam kimbalotyagaha. So he said that when I get angry, then people of three worlds along with their rulers are terrified. But you stupid fool, you are standing in front of me as if nothing has happened. So sometimes people who are very powerful and outside, everybody is afraid of them. When they come home, they are afraid of their wife. And the wife is chastising them. So everybody is afraid of Hiranyakashipu. And here is Prahlad, his own little son. He's just looking at him. And he is wondering, why is he getting so mad at me? What is that I have done? I'm only telling something good. Because if you don't become devotee, then where will you end up? And we already read how he said that everything else is just a waste of time. So he says, Tasya me abhitavan mudha, you fool, shasnam kim balo atyaga. He says, what is your power? Because Hiranyakashipu was also surprised. This was a surprise for him. Because it doesn't matter, even if no ordinary father gets angry at this small child, the child becomes fearful. Not to speak of extraordinary Hiranyakashipu, whom everybody feared. So he is getting angry, and there was a reason for him to get scared. But nothing happened to him. So then he was wondering that why this fellow is so fearless. And what is his strength? And Atyagaha means that what is this, your strength, that your strength seems to be more than me. So I want to know that. Of course he is in an angry mood. He is not really interested in seeing any strength or anything. He wants to kill him. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, he gives the opposite meaning of these words. which seemed to be like a criticism, but he turns them into a praise. So first word is Durvinita. So Durvinita, Vinit means humble, and Durvinit is just opposite of that, means haughty, proud. So he says, oh Durvinita, that you, because you are, all the Prahlad is actually standing very humbly, but he is calling him Durvinita. So he says that the real meaning is Dushteshu api Vishishtam Nitam Kripalakshanam Yasya. He says Durvinita means that you are bringing your grace even to Dushta, or who are not really qualified for it, who are ill-behaved. Pardukha asahishnutvat, because you are unable to tolerate the suffering of other living beings. So that is the meaning of Durvinita. And then he calls him as Mandatmana. So Mandatmana is usually used for people who have little brain, thick-headed or dull-headed. Manda means dull or slow. Atma means mind, intelligence. So Mandatman means dull-headed. So he says, Mandanamapi Atma Manoyatra Sarvachittakarashkatvat. So he says, Mandatman here means that one who attracts the mind even of the dull people, because he attracts the heart of everybody, being a great devotee. And then Kula Bhedakara, one who brings dissension in the family, means does not follow the principles of the family. As a Daitya, he should be against Vishnu, but he is a devotee. So he says Kula Vishesha Svashtara, that one who actually is the creator of special family, bringing special knowledge, devotion into the family which did not exist. So that is Kula Bhedaka. And then Adhama, which means very low class. So he says Prajapatiyopi Adhma Yasmat Mahavibhuti Sattvat. So it means that even the great Prajapatis, they are inferior to him, because he has great devotion to the Lord. Therefore he is called Adhama here. Means it is others who are inferior to him, not that he is inferior. And Stabdha is insolent. Asureshu Pujya Buddhitva Bhavat Machchasanudbhutam Madagya Langhinam. So Stabdha means he is just standing there because he does not respect the Asuras. So that's right. So Machchasanudbhutam Madagya Langhinam, that you are transgressing my order. So I am going to send you to Yama, Lord of Death. So Yamakshayam Yamalayam. And then he gives another meaning to that. Yama also means rules and regulations. Yama niyama. And Kshaya means to bring an end to that. So Yamanam Ashtanga Yoganam Kshayam Nivas Bhutam Tvam. So Kshaya also means the place of residence. So Yamakshayam therefore means one who is the abode of the rules. So he says, you are Swatrayakatvena Angikarishami. So I will bring you to Yamakshaya means that I will accept you as my protector. I will take shelter of you, because you are the center of all the yamas. So then he asked him this question, that what actually is your strength why is that you are not fearful? From where you are getting this fearlessness? So this I want to know. So he is calling him as Abhitavat, which means who is like fearless. So why the word Vat is used? So the word Vat is used to indicate that Hiranyakashipu is actually thinking that maybe externally he is not showing fear, but internally he is full of fear. Therefore he calls him Abhitavat. But really speaking, Prahlad was fearless inside, outside. He had no fear. Fear from whom? So now he starts answering his question, Prahlad Vacha. And his answer is very interesting. So he says, Na kevalam me bhavatascha rajan savai balam balina chaparesham pare vare mi sthirajangamaye brahmadayo yena vasham pranitaha. He says that it is not only that my strength is only my strength, but he is also your strength. And balam balinam chaparesham, he is the most powerful. He is more powerful than you, and that is my strength. Therefore I don't have any fear. So who is this person? He says that all lower beings, higher beings, movable, immovable, beginning from Brahma, they are under his control. So this of course will make Hiranyakashipu very angry, because Hiranyakashipu is thinking that everybody is under his control. But he says that he is the one who is superior to everyone. And especially he mentions Brahma, because if at all Hiranyakashipu had some respect, it was for Brahma, because it is Brahma who gave him the boons. So he says even Brahma is under his control, and that is my strength. So obviously Hiranyakashipu now is going to think that somebody who is superior than him. So who is he actually? What is his name? And how can I know him? So he says, Saishwara Kala Urukramo Avojasaha Sattva Balendriyatma Saiva Vishwam Paramah Svashakti Sristhiyaktyauti Gunatrayesha. So he is the Ishvara. He is the supreme regulator. He is Purushottama. He is the supreme person. And time is so Kala. So what is time? Time is the cause of transformation. Everything changes in time, and time remains unchanged. And Ojasaha Sattva Balendriyat. Oja means the power of senses. Saha means the mental power. And Bala means physical power. So power of our body, power of our senses, power of our mind, fortitude, these are all coming from him. And he is Gunatrayesha. He is the master of three gunas, and he creates this universe by his powers. He maintains it and he destroys it. So that is strength, he explains. He says, that is my strength. So now Hiranyakashipu understood that he is talking about Vishnu. So then he says that if he is Vishnu, and Vishnu is my enemy, how can he be my strength? How can you say that it is also your strength? Because it says, Na kevalam me bhavatasya rajan. Not only my strength, but also your strength. So Hiranyakashipu, he considered Vishnu as his enemy. So how enemy can be strength? Friends can be strength, not enemy. So therefore Prahlad said, Jahiya asuram bhavam imam tvamatmana samam mano dhatsvana santi vidvishaha rite ajitatman utpatastitat tadhi anantasya mahat samarham. So he must be a very bold person to speak like this to his father. First of all, he is a small boy and he is speaking to his father who is in a very angry mood, and father is not ordinary father. Father is a terror for everybody. So now he is telling him directly, he says that you give up your asur bhav. So you give up your asuric mentality, become a devotee. So give up this nonsense that you are supreme, you are powerful. Jahi asur bhavam imam tvam atmana samam mano dhatsva. Make your mind equal towards everyone. And na santi vidvisha. So he says that there is nobody who is your enemy except your own mind. And this is the greatest worship of Lord, to bring your mind in the balanced state. So this mind is that which is utpatasthite, which is going in the wrong path. And besides this, there is nobody who is your enemy. So this is the real worship. So worship him with this mind. Jahi tyaja atmana swasya mana samam swasmin niva sarvatra tulyam. So he said, give up on this idea that you are supreme, you are ruler, and make your mind peaceful. So this is what he said earlier also. And he said that Atmapanna, that compare yourself to others and see how others also suffer when you do something which makes you suffer. So same thing he is telling him. This seems to be his very important point. Because especially for Daityas who are always causing disturbance. This is important to know. So he says, Mana samam swasmin iva sarvatra tulyam. Just as you don't like that somebody bothers you, somebody troubles you, don't bother others. Nanu shatrushu swasamam mana katham karomi tatraha vidvisham. So when Hiranyakashipu says, how can I see my enemy with the same mind as my friend? So Prahlad says that you don't have enemies. Enemy is only your mind. Vidusha shatravo nayavishanti ajitad avsust kritad atmano namsarati. So our real enemy is sitting inside, and we think that enemies are outside. We are very busy blaming others. Whenever something happens, something wrong, and we try to find fault in others, and we consider some people as our enemies, or those who cause disturbance to us. So he says that your real enemy is inside you. As long as your mind is not under your control, then he is the greatest enemy. And no matter how many enemies you kill outside, this inner enemy will keep on creating newer and newer enemies. You will find more enemies. There will be no end of it. So if you don't make your mind balanced and free from hatred and envy, then it will always find somebody who does not like and develop animosity towards that person. So now Hiranyakashipu is thinking that Vishnu is his enemy. And that is the most ridiculous thing to think. Because Vishnu is not anybody's enemy. He says, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshasti na priya. I am equal to all, nobody is dear to me, nobody is my enemy, or I don't hate anyone. So how can he be considered as an enemy? Of course one can say, well, he killed his brother. But he killed his brother to bring balance in the society, because he had made this earth not worthy to live. So there is water all over. Already there is so much water on earth. Only 1/4 is land, 3/4 is water. So he brought 1/4 also underwater. So the earth was submerged. So he took it out, and then Varaha, this Hiranyaksha, became angry at Varaha. So if the police catches a criminal, and then criminal thinks that police is his enemy because they are catching my brother who is a criminal, and that's not the right thinking. So this is Hiranyakashipu's problem. Vishnu has not done anything wrong to him. Vishnu's job is to maintain. So he did that. Just as the job of police is to maintain peace in the society. But we do not see our own defects, our own faults. It's very difficult. It's very easy to see the defects in others, and very difficult to see our own faults. So he says, Manasarite, besides your mind, nobody is your enemy. Manasaha sarvatra sarvatulya darshan lakshanam samyameva vashi bhava tasmin sati satrava adarshanath na keti satrava. So he says that you start seeing others with your mind as you see yourself. And this is the meaning of controlling the mind. So what is the meaning of controlling mind? Controlling mind does not mean that no, I don't think of anything, or I sit down, make my mind thoughtless. That is also a process in yoga, making mind thoughtless. But it says making mind free from enmity towards others. That is control of mind. Not trying to see that others are troubling me, others are cause of my suffering. So, just as your mind is not meant to trouble you, it's meant to help you. So like that, see others also that they are not your enemies. You don't think your mind as your enemy. So it says Swatulya Darshan Lakshanam. So seeing others same as you see yourself, which means treating as you want to be treated, or as you treat yourself, try to treat others in the same way. You want to be treated respectfully. So be respectful to others. You don't want that you are treated like an enemy. So don't treat others like an enemy. And if one can do that, then that is the meaning of mind control. Mind control is not sitting down and just thinking of one particular object. So this is the practical instruction he's giving. Satulya darshan lakshanam samyameva vashibhava. Tasmin sati shatrava darshanat. So if one will see like this, then there are no more enemies to be seen. Then who is enemy? And then you become peaceful. And he says that this is actually the worship. Samyameva samaharanam aradhanam. So in the previous chapter also he said this. Sarvatra tadikshanam atamapamena sarvatra sarvabhutanam ishvara. And here again it says the same thing. Anantasya mahat samarpanam. This is the great worship. Because then you actually start respecting Lord everywhere. Not only in the temple, not only in things you like, but in the whole creation. Sodashyun parashanna vijittalum manyante eke sujita vishodasha jitatamano gyasa samasya dehinam sadhos swamoha prabhuva putapare. So he says that some people, they think that because they have conquered all the 10 directions, that they are the ruler of the world, without conquering over the 6 plunderers, 6 dacoits, which are sitting inside. So Dashyun Purashanya Vijittalum Pato Manyante Eke Sujitadvisham. So if you have not conquered your inner enemies, no matter how much you conquer outside, you are still working in a futile manner, not really conquering anything. So he says such people are foolish. Why is that? Because the real problem is still lying inside. But a knowledgeable person who has controlled his senses and who has equanimity towards all beings, then all his enemies born of ignorance, they are dead, samoha prabhava. And then how can he has enemies outside? So sadho swamoha prabhava putapara. So he's saying that there are enemies inside and there are enemies outside. So if you can kill your enemies inside, then outside enemies, they will be killed naturally. So outside enemies are reflection of the inner enemies. And if we don't have inner enemy, then we don't have external enemy. So in other words, what he is saying is that you try to conquer your inner enemies and don't waste time trying to conquer the external ones. Because the external enemies you may not be able to conquer. And even if you conquer, there is no end to them. Some more will come. But if you have conquered your inner enemies, then even if the external enemies exist, you will still remain peaceful. So therefore it says that you should work on your own mind instead of getting angry, upset. So this is his instruction. But this instruction fell on the deaf ears. Rather, not only deaf ears, but it made him more angry. Like the bird who was instructing the monkey. So it was raining. And when it was raining, the bird went and sat inside the nest. And monkey was sitting on the tree, getting wet. Then it was windy, so he was feeling cold also, wet. Cold wind and rain is coming. So the bird is sitting cozily inside the nest and saying that, why are you suffering like this, my dear monkey? You have hands, should build some your shelter. I don't even have hands. See, I have built this nice house, I am sitting comfortably. So the monkey, of course, they are building house, they will destroy anything as they see. So he was getting mad at the bird. When the rain stopped, he went up and he tore the nest. And he said, you little bird, you think you can instruct me? You foolish. How dare you give me instruction? So similarly, Prahlad is giving instruction to his father. It's like you want the river to flow backward to the mountain. Water flows from high level to low level. Rivers flow from mountain to the ocean, not from ocean to the mountain. So Prahlad is trying that Ganga will go back to the mountain. So how can Hiranyakashipu listen to him? He was already angry. Now he became completely furious after he heard the statements. So eke yusmadrisha mandahadasyun kamadin lumpataha sarvasvam harta swasange sthitanapi avijitya ajitva dashdisha swajita svenajita manyante. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti is giving the meaning of this verse. He says that there are people who are not very intelligent. Why not intelligent? Because you should at least know where the enemy is. You want to conquer the enemy. You don't even know where the enemy is existing. So first you have to find out what is the capital of enemy. So the capital city of the enemy is the mind. And you are running around. So he says you are going in 10 different directions without seeing the enemies which are sitting inside, and they are looting everything. They are plundering day and night your wealth, your time, your energy. And you are trying to conquer the people outside. So he says they think that they have conquered, but they are not. That's why they are stupid. Jita chittasya chitta jayanaiva vijit sakshapatme. So one who has conquered over his heart, his mind, then he has conquered over the 6 enemies. Gyasya vidushay parai satruva kuto hetorati punaya. So then where are the enemies outside? So he says there are no more enemies. Why is that? Because these enemies, they are actually born from one's own illusion. They are not enemies in the real sense. So there will be no cause for these enemies to be your enemy. So now Hiranyakashipu, of course, he cannot tolerate this. So Hiranyakashipu Vacha, he said, Vyaktam tvam martu kamosi yoti matram vikathase murshunam hi mandatman nanu syur viplava viraha. So he says, now you have expressed very clearly that you want to die. Why? He says those people who are desiring to die, they blabber like this. They don't know what they are saying or what they should say or not say. He says, Murshunam hi mandatman. He says, you fool, you dullhead, those who are about to die or who wish to die, Syu Viplavagira. Say their speech falters. They are unable to understand, discriminate what they should speak and where they should speak. So therefore he says you are boasting unnecessarily, thinking that you are very learned. But now your wisdom will be the cause of your death. But it is said that amongst fools better be quiet, otherwise you will be in trouble. There was an assembly of owls, big conference of owls was going on. And the discussion was whether there is sun or there is no sun. So after great discussion they came to the conclusion that actually there is no sun. So by mistake one crow went there and said, what you are talking, there is no sun, you must be really foolish. Every day there is sun. So he said, but we have never seen it. He said, you have to open your eyes in the daytime and not see. He said, we open our eyes at night, we don't see him. So they asked crow that, can you show the sun? Of course it was night, he cannot show them. He says, well, you have to wait till daytime. He says, don't see, now you are trying to just evade. So they all attacked him and they killed him. He said, you think that all of us, we are fool and you alone are intelligent. So like that, Hiranyakashipu is thinking that this little boy, he thinks he is intelligent and we all Daityas, great people, I, my brother, my other family members, you who have conquered everybody, we are foolish. And this little fellow thinks he is smart. So therefore he said that now you have truly expressed that you deserve to be killed. There is no doubt. Previously I had little doubt that maybe you will change. But it looks like that death is just circling around your head. So you are like a firefly which runs to the fire, meets its own death. So like that you are speaking nonsense in front of me. And now I am fixing. So vikathase haribhaktatvad ahemeva vijita shadmitro natu mamayam janaka iti atmaslagham karosi. He says that you are even boasting so much, you are praising, I am your father, and you think just because you are devotee you have control over mind and I don't have. So how proud you are, and how boastful you are. I heard devotees are humble, but where is your humility? That you are even calling your father as fool. Good argument. Says, I am your Janaka, I am your father, iti atmaslagam karosi viplava anamrita. So you are speaking words which don't make any sense. Yas tvaya manda bhagyokto madanyo jagdishwaraha kvasau yadisa sarvatra kasmat stambhena drishyate. So he says that you unfortunate fellow, you said that there is somebody else who is the master of this universe. There is some other Jagdishwara, some other Lord. So where is he? So Prahlad says he is everywhere. Kvasau. He says sarvatra. So it says yadisa sarvatra kasmat stambhena drishyate. Why I don't see him in the pillar in front of me? Prahlad says, well, he is there. So he says, okay, now I will disprove you. He is there. He mand bhagaiti jagat yatha jagadashvaryam mama tatha tathaiv matputratva tavapi tanyaya praptam iti tattvaya tyajate iti bhava. So he is calling him as unfortunate. And Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti, he comments why he calls him unfortunate. So he calls him unfortunate because he's saying, look, I am the Jagdishwara. I am the Lord of three worlds. You are my son. So naturally after me, you will become the Jagdishwara. And you are giving up all that. How unfortunate. I earned it by my valor, by my strength, by my power. And you don't have to do anything. You're getting it. And you reject that. So like somebody is very rich and the son leaves home and he says, no, I will not take anything from you. Sometimes some sons of some rich people, they do that. No, I don't want anything, I will work myself. Don't want to be known as dependent on you. So he says, that's why you are mandbhagi. Yadi asau asti tarhi kva asti. So he says, if this is your God which you are talking about, then where is he? So Prahlada sarvatra asti. Prahlad said he is everywhere. Hiranyakashipaha kasmat stambhena asti. So why I don't see him in the pillar? Prahladastu sapramanam pashyanaha drishyate. So he is applying the word drishyate as if Prahlad is saying it. So kasmat stambhena drishyate means Prahlad says, yes, I am seeing him. So it can be kasmat stambhena drishyate, why I don't see him in the pillar, or it would mean two different sentences. Why he is not in the pillar, and Prahlad says drishyate, I see him. And he is bound down to Nrsimhadev. So this is his statement. Now he says, Soham vikatta manasya shirakaya dharamite gopayet haristvadya yaste sharanam ipsitam. So he says, now because you are too much boasting and speaking big words, I will remove your head from your body and let this Hari, whom you are saying he is Jagdishwara, he is this, he is that, let me see how he protects you. Because I am the Jagdishwara and you are saying that there is someone else who is Jagdishwara, so let me see how he comes and he protects you. Gopayet haristvadya yaste sharanam ipsitam. You are saying you are his shelter, you are taking his shelter, and he is going to protect you. So, because Prahlad was seeing Lord Nrsimhadev in the pillar, and Hiranyakashipu he could not see because he does not have the qualification to see him. So he says, if he is Sarveshwara and he is the remover of miseries of his devotees, he is the controller, he is all pervading. So these are all statements you are making. So let me see how he protects you. So then he begins. Evam duruktair muhur ardayan rusha sutam mahabhagavatam mahasuraha khadgam pragayat patito varasanat stambham tatadati bala samushtina. So in this way he was speaking very harsh words again and again to his son who was a great devotee. Therefore he did not deserve such treatment from him. So this great Asura, he took his sword in his hand, which was hanging from his hip probably, and then he jumped from his high throne and with great strength with his fist he hit the pillar, because he thought, this guy is saying that yes, I am seeing him in the pillar, so he thought, let me first hit this fellow itself. I don't see him. If he's inside the pillar and if I hit the pillar, then he will also get hurt. Like you're inside your shirt, somebody hits your shirt, you also might hit. So he's saying he's inside the pillar. If he's actually inside the pillar, I slap him. If he's not inside the pillar, then I slap this guy. I destroy him. So with this intention, he hits the pillar. So Hiranyakashipu's tatra tamapashyanaha sohamit. So Hiranyakashipu, because he did not see anything in the pillar, so he said, okay, now I will show you how you are wrong. So he was very powerful, not just with one box hitting the pillar with his fist, he broke the pillar. Tadaiva tasmin ninadoti bhishano babhuva yena andakataham asputat yam vai swadhishanyopugatam prajadayaha shutva sadhamapiyam namenire. So at that time when he hit, then there was a very fearsome sound which came out. As if the whole universe was about to break into pieces. It's like we had these big bombs at Diwali festival. So they were making big, some of them were really loud. So this was the biggest cracker. Right? So the real Diwali festival. People are buying big crackers. Bigger the sound, they think, wow, this is a great sound. So this was the real big cracker sound. So the sound was so terrible and loud that it went up to Brahma. And Brahma thought, what is this? What is happening? Is the world coming to an end? This is not the time for Mahapralaya, for the great dissolution. So what is actually happening? So Sutva Swadhamapi I am Angamedire to Ajadaya. So not only Brahma but other beings in the higher planets, they all got confused by this sound and they started deliberating that what actually was this sound, right? From where it came. Savai swadhashanyopugatam yam vai swadhashanyopugatam prajavaya sutva. So this was aspudad eva ityarthayam ninadam api ayam nasham. Apayam nasham. So this was the sound which was causing destruction. Swadhama apayam angamenire. Brahma actually thought that his own abode is coming to an end. And this whole palace is going to fall down. Maybe many buildings fell down. It's so much sound. So I will stop here. Now we will see how Hiranyakashipu will react to this, what he will see, and ultimately meet his end. Is there any question?
In the beginning of the class, Hiranyakashipu insulted Prahlad with all his bad words, and Vishwanath was turned around in his commentary into approving words. What was his intention? He just couldn't tolerate Prahlad being insulted?
Yes, whenever we see that there are statements like this. Like earlier, if you remember, Varaha and Hiranyaksha were fighting, then Hiranyaksha was also calling him ill names. So commentators always turn the words as if they are words of praise and not criticism. Because naturally they cannot see Lord being abused by someone. So same devotees also don't like to see great devotee like Prahlad being abused even if he is his father. So they see these words in a different way. In Sanskrit you can do all this. Change the samasa, give the opposite meaning.
So this seeing, conquering all one's enemies and seeing everybody as a friend.
At least try to do this with few people.
Now Krishna says, I'm equal to all.
Right.
So should we first of all endeavor to come to that level to be like Samadarshana?
Pandita Samdarshan.
Before
Sunichaya Sapake. Pandita Samdarshan. Yes.
before one can actually, see the living entities as friends.
Yeah.
Or is that seeing the living entities as friends only possible once you have the prema from Krishna?
When you have prema, then it will be natural. Because then you cannot harm anybody. So a true devotee cannot harm anybody. Even the asuras, it's like Prahlad, so he didn't harm his father. He was trying to give some good instruction to him for his benefit. Of course, father cannot take it. And even after he was killed, he prayed when Nrsimhadev was asking again and again, take some boon from me. And first thing he said was, please, what about my father? So that shows that he did not have any maliciousness in his heart towards him. So that is the heart of a devotee.
So that means the jnani becomes a Samadarshi, and that's it.
Jnani becomes Samdarshi because that's all he can do. And devotee becomes Bhagavad Darshi. Because Jnani is looking after Brahman, so he says Sarvam Kalavidam Brahman. And Brahman is neutral, equal, no variety. No enmity, no friendship.
So that's what is actually the process. You first come to that Samadarshi that also occurs for the devotee, or it is a prerequisite for the other?
Well, devotees follow different methodology. Devotees' methodology, you don't have to see Samadarshi. You see everything as God and His manifestation. That's the reason. Imam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Chamai Pashyati. So that is devotee. Because he wants to see Krishna and feel everything in relationship to Him. So therefore his beginning principle is to accept what is favorable and reject what is not favorable. As Krishna himself says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshvasti na priya. And then he says, Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mahiteteshu. So, even he is different. So therefore devotees are not samdarshi in that sense. Their darshan is in relationship with God, Krishna.
So you have to discriminate between favorable and unfavorable, anukuli and